Please welcome the plant director of Factory Zero at General Motors, Cathy Staelgraeve.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. What a great event. Myself and some of my team were able to join, and we're really excited and grateful to be here today. This seems like a great group of people, few familiar faces in the crowd, so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about what General Motors is doing just down the road at Factory Zero, and a little bit about myself along the way. So we are just, I think if it was clear outside, we're just down the road. I think you could see our smokestack on a clear day from here. So we're just around the corner. And we've been up to a lot. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our overall growth strategy, a little bit about myself, our transformation at Factory Zero, previously known as Detroit-Hamtramck, a little bit about what it means to build an electric vehicle, and then how General Motors is helping accelerate EV adoption within the community. So you may be familiar with our vision: zero crashes, zero emission, and zero congestion. And I am so fortunate as the plant director at Factory Zero to be able to contribute to this vision on a daily basis with everyone who works in our plant. It's not just something that's happening in the front offices or in the boardroom. This permeates all the way through our entire plant to every person who works on our site. So a little bit more about us and what we do. Actually, first, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I do wear many hats. I am a third-generation GM employee. The picture you see up here in the upper left, the black and white picture, the man in the tie is my grandfather. He's a World War II veteran. He was actually a medic in the behind the market garden front. He wasn't on the front line, but a medic working behind. And when he returned from World War II, he got a job in Pontiac. I'm from Waterford, so he worked at Pontiac Motor for his entire career. This picture is from his last day of work. My dad happened to be a general foreman in that same complex in Pontiac, so the man in the snazzy trench coat is my father. And he, at the time, again, was a general foreman, and he was able to have a very good career. He, as a child of an hourly employee, was encouraged to go to GMI, now Kettering, and earn an engineering degree and make a very different life for myself and my siblings than the life he had growing up. And for that, I'm very grateful. And then I'm the plant leader, so if I look back on my career, I've worked in manufacturing since 1995, so that's a long time, right? Almost 30 years. Always in a plant, always very active. I heard the people who were presenting just a bit ago talking about what motivates them and what gets them going. And when I reflect on what motivated me when I was young, I loved math, I loved science, but mostly I loved people. And I had no idea. My dad knew, I had no idea that through his encouragement, go work in manufacturing, you'll like it, you'll like it. He was absolutely right. The problems that I solve, the people that I encounter and that I get to lead every day. It's really motivating, and the fact that I've been able to achieve what for me is an absolute dream job, and in my opinion, the best job in all of General Motors, by the way. I am so grateful. I'm also a mom of 2 teenage boys. Everybody's taller than me now. They're 15 and 17. I'm a problem solver. I'm an engineer. I graduated from the University of Michigan. Mechanical engineering, thank you, yes. Hockey maven, thank you for the word that my team helped me pick here. Every year, GM and Ford, we've done an outdoor game at Clark Park to benefit Clark Park in the Matrix Theater in Detroit. It's a charity event that we do. I've played hockey for many, many, many years, and when people ask me how it's going, I say not well. I'm not good at it anymore. In my mind, I'm still really good. It's hard to heal, is what I learned, you know. But hockey's a game where you fall down a lot and you get back up and you keep going. So it's a great way to prepare yourself for working in manufacturing. I'm also a mentor. I belong to several employee resource groups within General Motors. This picture happens to be from GM Women, but I also support our GM Veterans, our GMAN, our African Ancestry Network, GM Plus for LGBTQ plus and allies as well. And then I'm a breast cancer survivor. And the fact that I can stand here 8 years after the fact and tell you that, thank you. I appreciate that. 1 in 8 women, or 1 in 7, depending on what statistic you read, are affected by breast cancer, which is why it's so important to get all of your proactive checks done on a timely basis to have a good, positive outcome. So that's a little bit about me. I wear many hats. My days are very busy, as I'm sure many of yours are, but they're also fun, and I enjoy my life very much. So Factory Zero, it opened in 1985, and it splits between Detroit and Hamtramck. The city line goes right through the body shop of our plant. It was rededicated in 2020 as Factory Zero. As of today, we have about over 2,000, about 2,300 employees come to work at Factory Zero every day, and we do have the ability to grow. Currently, we're building 7 vehicles, and we're assembling the battery all under one roof. So it's a lot of activity. There's a lot going on. And we've had a tremendous amount of investment, over $2.7 billion since 2013, and 2.2 since with the investment in 2020. There we go. So these are our products. The first was a GM Hummer pickup truck, followed by the Hummer SUV below here, and then the Chevy Silverado, which there's different versions of the Chevy Silverado that we're building, the GMC Sierra, the Cadillac Escalade IQ, which is my personal favorite. The Cruise Origin is assembled at Factory Zero. Then we have 1 additional vehicle that is not yet announced, and the Ultium battery pack is made in our battery assembly area. And part of our advantage at Factory Zero is the fact that our people have been with us for some time, but the new equipment that comes in is where we can take what was good for us with the people at General Motors and apply it to the new equipment. So since our investment, we have a completely new plant. Everything was removed from the shop floor all the way down into the wiring, the old phone lines. It's all gone. All new equipment was installed in the body shop, the paint shop, general assembly, and in the res department. So it's over 4.5 million square feet. It's all under one roof. We have the largest body shop in North America. The building was expanded. If you had ever visited it or seen an aerial picture of it, the building was expanded through 3 of the sides. And there's new technology throughout the plant in each department. And it's a brownfield site. It's not a greenfield site. So we get asked that frequently by investors. Why? Why would you make that choice? Well, there's a few reasons. One, where this plant is located, our plant right in Detroit, we're right in the center of it all. You know, it's easy access. We have the flow in and out from the highway. We already have all of the utilities set up, all the permitting done with the states, with the cities. So in this particular case, it was the right decision for us to do this brownfield site. Plus, it was 1/3 of the less capital. So in a capital-rich industry such as the automotive industry, it makes sense for us to save a little bit on capital and use this site that was ready for us to transform. All right, so now I want to bust some of the myths about ICE vehicles and electric vehicles in the assembly plant. This is a common question for me, and maybe you heard it or read about it in the last several months in some other media, that what is the difference between EV and ICE? If you're going to build an EV, does that automatically mean you're going to need less people to work there? And the answer is no, that is not the case. So, I mean, I know because I'm living it every day. In a traditional internal combustion engine plant, you will have a chassis line, you'll have an engine line, you might even have a transmission line, depends on how big that plant is. I don't have any of those, but what I do have is a whole rechargeable energy storage system or battery department where there are people that are making that battery. Now, are the people's hands in the battery? No, there's a lot of automation, just like there is in any body shop that you go to right now, because any job that is dangerous or degrading for an employee or dirty for a human, like you don't want a human doing this, it has been automated over time, and we continue to do that as an entire industry. Certainly as a company, but as an industry, we will continue to be productive. But it's not the fact that it's an EV that means that there's going to be less jobs there. So I just wanted to bust that myth right away. The pictures here show you some of the differences of the decking. So you'd call it where the chassis and the body meet. You might call it a decking. That's what I've always called it. In our case, we don't have that same type of decking situation. We have the battery that comes up underneath, and you could say that's the decking aspect of it. And then the tires and the drive units come up separately into the vehicle in the chassis area. So I just wanted to take some time and let you know that there are still plenty of opportunities for people to work within General Motors at an EV plant and at Factory Zero. All right, accelerating EV confidence. So this slide, again, one of my favorites. On the left side, this shows GM's current market share, a few months old now, but you can see where it's at in the center of the country, where we have a heavy, strong market share. On the right, the map of the states with where we see EV growth. So as a company, as General Motors, it makes sense that we are spending our time to invest into the EV market to gain greater market share, while we maintain ICE vehicles for our customers that are building them, enjoying them today as we continue to build them now. We also are working on other aspects for our all-electric future. So how do we get people to charge at home? What agreements do we need to have? How do we work together with the communities that we live in to make sure that people are eager and willing to adopt an electric vehicle? So home charging is available through our Ultium partnership. Our products you can choose to get an Ultium charger, a level 2 charger with a 220 outlet that you can plug in at home to charge your vehicle at approximately, for me, for the vehicles I drive, it's about 12 miles per hour. So for me, I use that when I go to my father-in-law's cottage. I have that with me. We plug it in. I can get a few miles at night that way. We also are partnering with certain industries such as EVgo and pilot gas stations to help with the accessibility of chargers within the existing infrastructure of our highway systems within the United States. And then at home charging, so we do have capability coming with our products to be able to power your home and use your vehicle as a generator through GM Energy, which is one of our GM departments. So a little bit more about me and my experience driving an EV, driving the EV that we build. I have a Hummer truck that I've had for about a year, and I have a home charger. My husband's actually an electrician, so it worked out well for me to get that home charger installed. Yeah. We also, at General Motors, have chargers at all of our workplaces. So the picture in the middle here is several of us who have company captured test fleet vehicles that we plug in and we can charge for free at work every day. This is open to all of our employees. So we have employees that have their own purchased EVs that are able to park in this preferred parking area and also charge their EV for free at work right now. So for me, I don't have to do anything special on a regular basis to charge my product. I charge it at home, I charge it at work. It's all good, it's all easy. I mentioned the kids. I had to take my son to a hockey tournament in Niagara, and I didn't know how I was gonna work that out, But come to find out, across the 401, all across Canada, almost every exit, you can get a level 3 charger and charge very quickly. So you plug in, you go eat, come back out, and you almost have a full charge. I was a little bit skeptical when I first signed up for this vehicle, but I'm so glad that I did. It's amazing to drive. If you had a chance to drive one, I'm sure you'd agree with me that the way that the go pedal reacts as you press it, the torque is unlike any other product I've ever driven. So also at our plant, at Factory Zero, we have worked with our employees to get them into our products, to let them experience that. We also very much spend time empowering and on our culture and bringing people up to improve themselves and to improve their own career as they grow in their career. So we have invested a lot of money into our plants, but we also give all of our employees the opportunity for tuition reimbursement. This is both a represented UAW employee and our salary employees. We have something called Workday. Maybe some of you also use Workday. It's available to all of our employees. So our UAW employees can apply to any job that any non-represented employee could also apply to. So say someone has a degree in something, but they're not really sure where they want to go with their life, and we're hiring. They join us, they get to know what we're doing. Maybe they're working in production, but they have that opportunity to use the tools available within our company to grow who they are and grow their career. We also hear from our employees through employee surveys. Well, workplace of choice is very important to us at General Motors. And our senior leaders are often visiting us and giving us good cultural moments to motivate our teams. We also have a great regular dialogue with our local UAW leadership. If anyone here has worked in a union plant before, it's just part of who we are. We're used to it. Our relationship is very human at the plant level and very productive and constructive. But we work together with both the plant and the greater company overall to have an impact in Detroit and in Hamtramck. With over $50 million in commitment to nonprofits, this includes some community-based organizations. We built a playground not too long ago. We invite people in for tours within the plant, and then we've also supported home ownership. And then when we want to look ahead for our next generation of talent. So at Factory Zero, a saying we have, it's where teamwork meets technology. We have had opportunities, I mentioned, we've had opportunities with some of our teams to grow, but I mentioned how the picture of my grandfather on his last day of retiring, his retirement day, the woman in the upper left, Carmen, she actually retires this Friday. It's her last day. And we had a diagonal slice meeting where she worked for 25 years as a production operator. And then, her kids were grown, and she's like, you know what? I think I want to be a skilled tradesman now. So she signed up for the apprenticeship program and worked another 25 years. She has 50 years with General Motors, another 25 years as a tool maker, and she's going to retire this coming Friday. So we're excited for Carmen. Some other pictures you see here, the picture on the far upper right is a group of new apprentices that we have, people who also worked in production that became apprentices. And then the picture of the two women on the bottom, two of the ladies who work in the plant. So Veta, who's one of our team members in quality, and then Monique, her daughter. Monique, when she graduated from high school, wasn't quite sure what she wanted to do. She started working in production, did it for a few years, got her degree, and she was one of the people who used the access into Workday to apply to a job in quality, a salary job, and she now works in salary in our quality organization. So I listened to the presentations earlier about people trying to encourage working in technology, and I just want to encourage anyone here who may be mentoring someone to pick a career that if you like people, if you like problems, if you like being a part of something greater than yourself, working in manufacturing is a daily reward for all of those areas. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've gotten to work at Factory Zero and in all of the other plants I've worked throughout my career to have interacted with people and grown in such a way. That's it. That's it. So, thank you.